ìrọ̀rùn. Get a better life TV.
Welcome back to Get a Better Life TV. In our pursuit of a better life, we often focus on growth, wealth, and power. But a truly wise life must also address the inevitable illness and the humility required for deep spiritual cleansing. Today, we turn to the Orisha, who embodies the spirit of infectious disease and powerful healing. Babalu-Ayé.
Ìkànnì ìgbé ayé ìrọ̀rùn. Get a better life TV.
Babalu-Ayé is the Orisha of infectious disease, health, spiritual cleansing, and healing. If your better life is seeking recovery from physical or spiritual affliction, or requires a deeper understanding of patience and humility, Babalu-Ayé is the key teacher. Who is Babalu-Ayé? Babalu-Ayé is one of the most respected and sometimes feared Orishas, traditionally associated with diseases like smallpox, leprosy, and all sudden widespread epidemics. However, his power is dual. He can afflict illness to force spiritual correction, but he is also the primary healer and the ultimate authority over contagious sickness. His core lesson is that physical suffering is often a direct result of spiritual imbalance, pride, or disobedience. Once the lesson is learned, his compassion allows for miraculous healing. His primary domain: infectious disease, spiritual and physical cleansing. His key roles: divine physician, patron of the sick, teacher of humility and austerity. He is deeply tied to the earth itself, which both holds the seed of sickness and provides the medicinal remedies. His energy is a stern but loving reminder that without humility, no amount of wealth or power can guarantee a life free from pain. As it is told, in his early life, before his peak, he was a king, a powerful figure, who was handsome, arrogant, and lived recklessly, ignoring the warnings of the elders and the Orishas. As a result of his pride, he was struck down by a terrible contagious disease that covered his body with painful sores. Feared and contagious, he was driven out of the city and forced into the deepest exile, where he suffered immensely. He was eventually discovered and nursed back to earth, often with the help of his faithful companion, the dog, and the herbal remedies provided by Osoyin. His intense suffering purified him, turning him into the compassionate healer he is known as today. The lesson for a better life. This story is transformative. It teaches us that suffering is not arbitrary. It can be a tool for purification and humility. Babalu-Ayé reminds us that the ego is the greatest disease. If we ignore our spiritual health, life will eventually force us into a state of necessary suffering to strip away our pride and realign us with compassion. Babalu-Ayé reminds us that a better life is not defined by excess, but by simplicity and spiritual cleanliness. When we are sick, we are stripped down to our bare essence. He encourages us to practice austerity voluntarily, to shed vanity, materialism, and harmful habits, so that life does not have to strip them away violently. So how do we apply the lesson of Babalu-Ayé to get a better life in practical preventive terms? 1. Practice humility. Avoid the spiritual arrogance that leads to suffering. Acknowledge your limitations. Apologize when you are wrong. And treat all people, regardless of their status, with respect. This is the ultimate ebo offering to Babalu-Ayé. Then 2, focus on cleansing. It governs cleansing rituals. If you feel spiritually heavy or cold, you must physically and spiritually purify yourself. This means deep cleansing your home, throwing away old stagnant things, and taking ritual baths using ingredients provided by your sewing. Then 3, charity and compassion. Since he suffered exile and poverty, Babalu-Ayé is deeply responsive to acts of charity, especially toward the sick, the poor, and the suffering. Giving help to the most vulnerable is the best way to learn his blessing and protection from illness. By proactively practicing spiritual hygiene and compassion, we honor Babalu-Ayé and avoid the painful lessons of forced purification. Babalu-Ayé represents the absolute opposite of the pure creative light of Obatala. Obatala created the pure, perfect form of humanity. Babalu-Ayé governs the physical contamination and imperfection that human pride and disobedience bring to that form. Obatala is a pure light we strive for. Babalu-Ayé is a mirror reflecting the dark consequences of our actions. Together, they offer the path to wholeness. Purify the mind as Obatala, and cleanse the body and spirit of pride as Babalu-Ayé. The lesson for a better life. True health is a balance between the pure ideal and the acceptance of contamination. We must strive for purity while humbly accepting that we are prone to error and sickness. Babalu-Ayé reminds us that the greatest strength is found not in avoiding pain, but in comforting it with humility and patience. He is the spirit of redemption, showing us that even the most severe suffering can lead to the deepest spiritual transformation. Thank you for exploring the profound part of healing with Babalu-Ayé. Next time on Get a Better Life TV, we will introduce the concept, the ultimate expression of balance and joy in life, Ibeji. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comment section what is one bad habit or unhealthy spiritual contamination you are ready to let go of today. Bye for now.
Ìkànnì ìgbé ayé ìrọ̀rùn Get a Better Life TV.